Hello, and welcome to our Tween and Teen Art Camp Kit demo with the Public Library of Brookline. Today, Youth Services Librarian Rachel from the Brookline Village Library will be showing you all how to make graphic novel wall art. So let's get started. Is this your first Public Library of Brookline to Go program? Here's how it works. Each month, the library is offering new take-home program kits, complete with everything you need to follow along in video or written instructions created by one of your local librarians. The best part? Absolutely no due dates. You can keep everything included in your kit. Visit brklib.com/to-go for a full list of our current kit offerings. Kits will be available starting the second Monday of every month on a first-come, first-served basis. Now let's get crafting.
So with today's kit, we're going to be making graphic novel wall art like this one of Totoro here. So you'll need your kit, some tape, and some scissors. So the first thing you're going to do is take the variety of silhouettes that come in your kit, pick which one you want to make. I'm going to make the cat today, and just start out by cutting it out. This will serve as the backing of your graphic novel art, and we'll put the rolls of graphic novel on top and then trim them. Now that you have your silhouette trimmed, you can set it off to the side, and we're going to start making our graphic novel paper rolls. So, the graphic novel pages I have are quite large, definitely wider than what I'm going to need. So I'm going to cut them in half, just to make them a little bit more manageable. But depending on the size of your pages and the size of your silhouette, you might want to just use a full page, and either works. So now we're going to roll these up, and we want to get a very nice tight roll. So start by making a very thin fold on one end, and then rolling it based on that to try to get as tight as you can. And then roll it all the way up. Then you're going to seal it with a bit of tape. It's okay if your roll isn't entirely straight. This is going to be up against your silhouette, so no one will see that it's a little bit messy, and we'll trim the edges. So if your edges are sort of starting to unroll like this, just add another piece of tape to hold that down and keep the whole roll nice and tight like so. Then you can set that onto your silhouette, and then you're going to want to keep making these rolls so that when you're gluing them on, you don't get on a roll of gluing them and then realize you have to stop and re-roll a bunch of little tubes. So take a moment, roll them all up, and I will be back all fine. So soon enough, you should have enough little paper rolls to cover your original silhouette. I haven't covered the tail or the ears yet, because once we trim it, I'll have lots of small pieces of the tubes that will work better for patching over those smaller parts. So, scoot all of them off of your silhouette, and now we can start attaching them with the glue dots. Okay, you're going to take your glue strips and then stick it down onto your silhouette, and then you can peel off the backing like that. And then you'll just peel off the backing and it will stick. So put one on each side of your silhouette so that the roll will stay stuck down. Here. There we go. And then take your roll and press it down so it sticks. So you're going to keep doing this until you cover your whole silhouette. So I will do a couple more on camera. Stick it down. There we go. If it sticks off a little, you can fold it back in. So you're just going to keep going just like that until your whole silhouette's covered. So you can now pick up your silhouette with everything stuck on, and what we're going to do is cut right along the silhouette and trim off these extra bits of the graphic novel rolls. So because they're so thick, you do have to put quite a bit of pressure on the scissors to cut through. And for detailed parts, you can first trim the larger pieces off and come in and add like the divot in his neck and things like that that are a little harder to get through. So I just do a rough outline on this side and then go back and add my detail. There we go. And then all of these little bits are what we will use to cover his tail and his ears in a moment. Now that I'm up at the head and attaching them to this narrower part of the silhouette, I'm going to place my glue dots vertically so that they cover more ground and still get each side sticky so it's secure. And stick on my last few rolls. One more set of the glue strips. This one will also cover my ears. One on this side. Perfect. And now I can attach my last few rolls. And I left a little bit too much space down on the bottom, so I'm just going to add another one down here. Sort of in the middle of his feet. Sometimes you'll have to adjust your glue strip placement so that it fits your silhouette shape. Okay, now I'm ready to start trimming. And then after, again, we will cover the smaller bits with our scraps. Once you've cut up your silhouette, you'll see on the back, you don't see any more graphic novel. And when you flip it over, it's starting to look like our cat. So now we can work in on the final step of filling in his little ears. So you're going to take smaller pieces that we've had cut off as we went along and attach them. So I'll put one, get the last bit of his head, some smaller ones. So the reason we use these is so that there's less to work with cutting off when we go to trim our final product. Now we're ready to flip it over, being careful this time. Oop. Keeps sticking to my hand. Alright. Flip it over, being careful this time, because parts like his tail will be especially fragile while you're cutting it, since it has the weight of all of that paper on it. So that's where I'm going to start trimming. Scoop my other trimmings out of the way. So, and once again, you're just going to take your scissors and trim off the excess graphic novel rolls. Okay, now that I have all of the smaller, more intricate parts trimmed, he's almost all set to get mounted, but if you're like me and your silhouette ended on a roll, it will lose all of its kind of jagged. So a good thing to do for this is to take another one of your glue strips, and you can just stick it on the inside, like so. So fold up your loop, put it in the roll, feel, and then you can just stick it down to itself, which will give your design a nicer, cleaner edge than the sort of fraying pieces that it had before. Gonna cut this one in half and do the same for this little bit of his paw that's sticking up. Peel out anything that's left inside it. Place it on. Peel that off. And then stick that down. All set. So now what we're going to do is take a piece of cardboard that came in your kit. Now we'll position your silhouette on wherever you like. I'm putting mine near the top, and then after I mount it, I'm going to trim off this bottom, but you could also center it on your cardboard, place it at the bottom, and add something above, whatever matches the design you want. And so to attach it, we're going to go back to our glue strips once more. And then just stick one to the top, one on the middle, one to the bottom, and one to any part, like his tail, that sticks off and needs support on its own. So I'm going to put it right in the middle of his tail. And this part that hangs down should stay on its own, but for good measure, I have a half a strip left. And getting stuck. I'm going to stick that right to the tip of his tail so that he stays nice and firm on our board. Scoot that out of the way. Flip it over. Adjust it to where I want it before pressing down. And then just press down all over to get it nice and stuck. You don't need too many glue strips because, as you've seen from them, constantly getting stuck to my fingers. They are quite sticky and just a few will hold. So now I have my cat mounted. I'm going to go ahead and trim the bottom with my scissors so that he's nice and well framed. Long cardboard. And now he has a more even border all around him, and he's ready to be hung on a wall or propped up against the wall on your desk, anywhere you want to put it.
Thank you all so much for making art with us today. We would love to see what you made with your kit, so please feel free to share your project with us on social media using the hashtag BRKLIB2Go. The Tween and Teen Kit program is generously sponsored by the Friends of the Brookline Public Library and the Brookline Library Foundation.